Sarah, do you ever wonder what life was like before social media? I mean, we spend so much time on it, but I can't even imagine what people did without it.
Honestly, I've thought about that too. Social media is such a huge part of our lives now. It's how we connect, share, and stay informed. But yeah, it's crazy to think that there was a time when none of this existed.
I know, like, if I didn't have my phone or Instagram, how would I know what my friends are up to, or what's trending? It's such a big part of my daily routine.
Same here. I check my social media every morning. First thing, it's the way I start my day now. But it makes me wonder, is it helping us stay connected? Or are we getting too caught up in it?
Good question. It's kind of a double edged sword, isn't it?
Let's break it down. What's your favorite thing about social media?
For me, it's definitely staying connected with friends and family. I've got cousins all over the world, and without Instagram or Facebook, I wouldn't know what they're up to. What about you?
I love that too, but I think my favorite part is the endless information. I can learn about anything in seconds, from world news to how to cook a new recipe. It's like having the whole world in my pocket.
Yeah, I agree. Social media makes it so easy to stay informed, but do you ever feel like you spend too much time on it? Like it's hard to stop scrolling?
Oh, for sure. Sometimes I open TikTok to watch one video, and an hour later, I'm still there. It's so addictive, but I guess that's how they design these apps, right? To keep us hooked.
Exactly. It's all about engagement. The more time we spend on the app, the more ads we see, and the more money they make. But it's easy to forget that when you're just trying to catch up on what's happening with your friends. The good side of social media.
Okay, let's talk about the good stuff first. Social media has changed our lives in so many positive ways, right?
Totally. Like we said, staying connected is the biggest benefit. I love how easy it is to reach out to people. You don't have to wait for letters or even emails anymore. Just send a message, and you're instantly connected.
And it's not just messages. We can share photos, videos, and even our thoughts instantly. When I post something on Instagram, my friends can see what I'm doing right away, even if they're on the other side of the world.
It's also made it easier for people to express themselves. Think about it, people share their art, music, or even just their opinions. It's like everyone has a platform now.
Exactly. And let's not forget how social media can bring attention to important causes. Like raising awareness about climate change or helping people in need. It gives everyone a voice.
Yeah, social media has become a powerful tool for change. People can organize protests, raise money for charity, or spread information about important issues. That's something we didn't have before.
It's incredible how much impact a single post can have. One tweet or video can go viral and be seen by millions of people in minutes. That's the kind of reach you just couldn't get with traditional media.
The downside, too much of a good thing? But, with all these good things, there's a downside too. Sometimes, it feels like we're always connected, and it's hard to take a break.
Yeah, I've felt that. Like, when I wake up, the first thing I do is check my notifications. It's almost like a reflex now.
Exactly. It's like we're constantly waiting for the next like, comment, or message, and when we don't get it, we feel like we're missing out.
That's the thing, social media can sometimes make you feel more disconnected, even though you're connected to so many people. It's weird, right?
Totally. I think it's because social media shows us the highlights of other people's lives. You see the best moments, and it makes you compare yourself, even if you don't mean to.
Yeah, it's hard not to feel that pressure. Everyone's life looks so perfect online, but that's not the whole story.
Exactly. It's easy to forget that people only post the good parts. You don't see the tough days or the boring moments.
And that can lead to feeling like your own life isn't exciting enough. I've had moments where I've felt bad because I'm not doing as much as someone else, even though I know it's just social media.
Same here, but I've learned to remind myself that what we see online isn't the whole truth. It's just a part of someone's story, not the full picture. social media and mental health.
Speaking of that, have you ever thought about how social media affects our mental health? I mean, all the time we spend scrolling, comparing, and looking at other people's lives, it has to have some kind of impact, right?
Definitely. I've read a lot about how social media can cause anxiety, especially if you're always comparing yourself to others. It can make you feel like you're not good enough.
Yeah, I've felt that too. It's easy to fall into that trap when you see people living these amazing lives. But the thing is, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. It's important to remember that social media isn't real life. It's just a small part of it, and most people only share the best moments.
That's why I try to take breaks from social media. It helps me clear my mind and focus on what's real, like spending time with friends in person or going outside for a walk.
I do that too. Sometimes, I'll log off for a day or two, just to disconnect and recharge. It makes a big difference.
It really does. Social media is great, but it's all about balance. Too much of anything can be a bad thing, right?
Exactly. And I think more people are starting to realize that. There's even a trend now where people are talking about digital detoxes to help them reset their relationship with technology. Using social media mindfully.
That's a great idea. I think if we use social media mindfully, it can be an amazing tool without taking over our lives.
Yeah, it's about being in control of how we use it, instead of letting it control us. Like, I've started setting time limits on my phone for social media apps. It helps me stay aware of how much time I'm spending on them.
I do something similar. I've started using social media with more intention. Instead of just mindlessly scrolling, I make sure I'm engaging with content that makes me feel good or helps me learn something.
That's a smart approach. I think if we all used social media with a bit more intention, we'd get more out of it without feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance, enjoying the benefits of social media without letting it take over our lives.
And at the end of the day, it's just a tool. It's up to us how we use it. Social media for learning and growth.
You know, one of the best things I've discovered recently is using social media for learning. There are so many educational accounts out there that teach you new skills or ideas. It's amazing how much free knowledge is available.
That's a great point. I've started following a few accounts that teach about history and science, and it's crazy how much I've learned just by scrolling through my feed. It's not just about funny videos anymore, there's real value if you know where to look.
Exactly. There are language learning accounts, fitness tips, cooking tutorials. It's like having a library in your pocket. And the best part is, you can learn at your own pace, whenever you have time.
Yeah, it's like social media has become more than just entertainment, it's a way to improve yourself too. I've picked up new hobbies just from watching videos and reading posts. Who knew I'd get into photography from Instagram tutorials?
That's awesome. It just goes to show, social media isn't all bad. When used the right way, it can be a powerful tool for growth, learning, and even self-expression.
Wrapping it all up, social media and balance. So, to sum it all up, social media is like everything else, it has its pros and cons. It helps us stay connected, informed, and entertained, but it also has its challenges, like overuse and comparison.
Exactly. The key is to find balance. Use social media for the good things, staying in touch, learning, and sharing, but don't let it take over your life. Remember to log off sometimes, connect with people in real life, and focus on the things that matter to you.
Yeah, like setting time limits, taking breaks, and being mindful about how we use it. Social media is a part of our world now, but we can control how we engage with it.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's about making sure we're using social media in a way that adds to our lives, not takes away from it. Balance is everything.
I think I'm going to try that. Maybe start with shorter screen time, and focus more on learning something new instead of just scrolling.
That sounds like a plan. And who knows, you might find a new passion, just like you did with photography.
You're right, social media, when used well, can lead to some pretty cool discoveries. So, let's use it to grow, not just to scroll.